بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين أما بعد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is session 8 of our study of Sarf. We've done Madi, we've done Mudari. We're on this now. Amr. Amr Ma'ruf. Okay. Remember we said that Ma'ruf means where we know the doer of the action. So when we said Madi Ma'ruf, we said we know the doer of the action. And then we had the Musbit or Isbat. Musbit is when we're affirming the occurrence of the action. Okay, and the opposite of that is al-manfi. It was when you're negating the occurrence of the action. So we've done madi ma'ruf, musbit, mudari ma'ruf, musbit. Now it's amr ma'ruf. Okay, so when it comes to the amr, like we did for the fi'l madi, we did the fi'l madi and then we went to fi'l mudari and we learned the fi'l mudari comparing with the fi'l madi. Correct? We're going to do that over here. We're going to learn the fi'l amr comparing to the fi'l mudari now. Okay? So we're going to make a few notes over here. But just like the fi'l mudari, we're not going to learn all the rules, how do you say it? Of the fi'l amr. Just like we didn't learn all the rules of the fi'l mudari. We're not going to formally learn all the rules because it's just going to be a headache and it's not really necessary if you know the scales. If you know the pattern, then that will suffice. Okay, that will suffice. So we're going to suffice with only a few rules over here, and then we're just going to learn the pattern. We're going to go through the pattern, and that's it. So first of all, thulathi mujarrad. Like we've mentioned for the fi'l mudari, that our discussion when it comes to sarf is going to be on the thulathi mujarrad based verbs for a while. So we're still touching upon the thulathi mujarrad based verbs. Okay, and when we're making this kind of transition from the fi'l mudari to the fi'l amr over here, we're doing so by looking at the first conjugation, which is the third person singular male form. So the third person singular male form, which is the first conjugation of the fi'l mudari that we have learned, is yaf'alu, correct? And the first conjugation of the fi'l amr is liyaf'al. Okay. The third point is that we have 14 conjugations. Just like we have 14 conjugations for the madi, we have 14 conjugations for the mudari, and likewise we have 14 conjugations for the amr. We've mentioned why we actually touched upon this point is because there are certain conjugation groups that we are going to touch upon later on that are not going to have 14 conjugations within the conjugation group. But until we get there, all the conjugation groups are going to have 14 conjugations. But just for that point in of itself, we're going to keep this in mind that, okay, this is 14 conjugations. So then when it's not 14 conjugations, okay, we can say, okay, now it's not 14 conjugations. Correct? Now, how do you change from the fi'l mudari, the first conjugation of the fi'l mudari, to the first conjugation of the fi'l amr? You add lam kasra to the beginning of present tense form. So over here, in the fi'l mudari, the first conjugation, you have yaf'alu. You add a lam kasra. Okay, this is the first thing you do. That lam kasra is not the beginning of the fi'l mudari, correct? So you add it on. Then turn the haraka of the last letter into a sukoon. So in the fi'l mudari, the first conjugation, the last letter, which is in this case, yaf'alu, the lam, okay, it has a dhamma, right? Turn that lam to have a sukoon. It has a sukoon now. Okay? So that's the second thing you do. The first conjugation is going to be on the scale of liyaf'al. So we go from yaf'alu to liyaf'al. Okay? How does it look when you put all the 14 conjugations of this conjugation group, which is the conjugation group of amr, together? It looks like this. ليفعل ليفعلا ليفعلوا لتفعل لتفعلا ليفعلن افعل افعلا افعلوا افعلي افعلا افعلن ليفعل لنفعل. So I put it side by side with the fi'l mudari that we've learned, so then you can see the difference. You can see some differences over here. Although, like we said, I'm not gonna make you guys learn the rules formally, but we'll touch upon some differences over here. So if you look at the first person and the second person based conjugations, okay, there's a lam kasra that's added. So these are all second person based. The first six conjugations out of the 14 conjugations are second person based, right? Yaf'al, he, like he, they, she, or they, right? Does that make sense? And also the first person, both for the singular and the plural, okay, these will all have a lam kasra at the beginning. That's not present in the fi'l mudari form. Okay. Notice also when it comes to the second person, which is the you could say the middle conjugations, right? The second person based conjugations, which are if'al, if'ala, if'alu, if'ali, if'ala, if'alna. These six, they have a hamza that's got a kasra. Do you see that? The hamza that's got a kasra that's not in the fi'l mudari. You can see all the differences also, but this, these are just a few differences. Okay, when you compare with the fi'l mudari. So how do you learn it? You learn it the same as you've learned the fi'l madi and the fi'l mudari. You read the whole thing once without the translation. So you say ليفعل ليفعلا ليفعلوا لتفعل لتفعلا ليفعلن افعل افعلا افعلوا افعلي افعلا افعلن ليفعل لنفعل. Then you go back to the beginning. You do it the translation. So you say ليفعل he one man should do. ليفعل they two men should do. ليفعلوا they all men should do. لتفعل she one woman should do. لتفعل they two women should do. ليفعلن they all women should do. افعل you one man do. If Allah you two men do, if Alu you all men do, if Ali you one woman do, if Allah you two women do, if Allah you all women do, liyaf'al I one man or one woman should do, linaf'al we all men or all women should do. I've just noticed that this alif here and the alif here and the alif here and the alif here should be in red. It should be in red. None of this is fine.